Yes. Hello and welcome to John A. Logan Women's Basketball. Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie here on the call for John A. Logan Women's Basketball and their home opener here this evening. They are coming into tonight's game with a 1-1 record. The Lady Vols under Charlie Jones, his second season at the helm for the Lady Vols. They went 9-15 last year under the tutelage of Charlie Jones. This year they are 1-1, so they are 10-16 under Charlie Jones so far. Things looking good for the Lady Vols as they wrapped up a weekend trip this past weekend up in Champaign. They played number 9 Lincoln Land on Friday to open the season. Then they played number 14 Parkland at Parkland. And they won on a last-second shot over number 14 in Division II Parkland, thanks to Ensley Tedeschi. 3 seconds left in the game, and she nails the shot, giving the Lady Vols the win and their first win of the season. Hello, I am Matt Varney. Tim Ritchie on the call for color, and then Eric joins back in the 103.5 ESPN.com studios, helping to bring you today's game, and John LeBlanc on the video if you're watching on Facebook Live today.
He's got his own room now.
He sure does, yeah. He's got a whole office with all of his toys in there, and so he showed it to me. It's very impressive, without a doubt.
John's a genius.
Absolutely is. John A. Logan Women's Basketball opening the home portion of their schedule here today against Brescia Developmental. This is their first game of the season. Nobody on the roster here today for the Lady Bearcats of Brescia, standing above 6 foot here today. Tim, they had 2 on the roster, and then I think what happened is they probably got called up to the varsity level of Brescia, is what I have to assume.
Yeah, you're probably right there. So
nobody standing
anybody
above
over 6. They should have somebody over 6 foot.
You would think, but
like in college, they should have somebody over 6'6".
Right, exactly. But nonetheless,
man, yeah.
Right, yeah, but nonetheless, that is the case for them. They're going to be fighting uphill against the Lady Vols, who, when you look at their roster, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 foot or more on the roster. So the Lady Vols, they can go ahead and say, Tim, we want to go big, and they can go big. They can go fast if they want, because it's going to be a small bench for Brescia. It's just going to be a very interesting game here for the Lady Vols, and they can kind of go in whatever direction they want to go, because they have a lot of different ways that they could probably beat the Lady Bearcats here. Yeah,
they in a situation, I think we'll probably want to run a little bit against this group. Got to get the rebound, though, first.
Yes, absolutely. Lady Vols in their 2 games this season so far, averaging about 29.5 rebounds per game. That's not going to get the job done against the better teams in the nation. And
yeah,
if you
I wonder what is good. 30-something probably. 40. 40 is real good.
I think 35 is about.
I really thought about it.
Yeah, 35 to 37 is probably about where you want to be at per game. 40 is where you really start talking about the elite rebounders in terms of teams, I think, Tim. But, yeah, 29
you can add your rebound. I know one game in high school. I had like 21 points and 22 rebounds, so I had a lot of – then my shooting percentage went down. But so you can't get a lot of rebounds on your own shot.
Yeah, absolutely. But point being, you want to be able to grab the ball.
Yeah, normally, you're right, to get the rebound.
They played good teams over the weekend, so that's going to affect that number a little bit. But the Lady Vols got to find a way, especially with 4 players that are standing at 6 foot or greater, and then you have a couple 5'11s as well.
That's good size.
You gotta grab the rebound, and you gotta cut down on turnovers. Season's early, so you can kind of look at those things and say you'd like it to be better, but overall, season is early. You have time to improve on that. But come middle of the season, come in 6 weeks here, Tim, and you're expecting the team to be better at those things. So those are the focuses for the Lady Vols here in the early going. This is game 3 in a season that has, I believe, 26 games.
The Bearcats, too.
Game 1 for them.
Had Cassidy, sorry, I looked the wrong thing. Cassidy Morris is on the varsity here. She played at Rend Lake, so we just want to mention her.
Yes, she did, absolutely. And another Rend Lake former player is Desaria James. She is with the Lady Vols, and she had a good opening weekend, averaging 13 points. Coming off the bench in game 2, started in game 1. Very good opening game for her, without a doubt. Opening weekend, I should say. And so some Rend Lake former teammates, I believe, that are going to be clashing. Well, they won't be clashing because Cassidy Morris is on the varsity side of it. But nonetheless, some Rend Lake flavors here at John A. Logan.
Good,
Without
it's good for anybody from the conference that goes on to to another college.
Absolutely.
And this ball club's from Owensboro, Kentucky. I've never been there. Almost made it for baseball and softball. One of my grandkids, but got canceled or something. So I guess I'll get there.
Absolutely. Speaking of Rend Lake, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other games in the Region 24 Division I series that is going on. Rend Lake College is hosting Parkland today. As we mentioned, they're number 14 in Division II. Logan saw them last week. Wabash Valley hosts Mineral Area College. That should be a good game. They won over Three Rivers in overtime on Saturday, 76-73.
I talked to their coach, the women's coach. They were down at Three Rivers.
Yep. And Shawnee has their home opener, or rather their season opener, I should say, at Southwest Tennessee Community College. That is going to be the first game for Kristen Shelby as the head coach of the Lady Saints as well. John A. Logan women's basketball getting closer to tip-off here. We're going to step away for a minute. When we come back, we will have the head coach of the Lady Vols, Charlie Jones, joining us for the pregame interview right here on the home of the Lady Vols, 1035ESPN.com.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Fall in a savings at Chris Offenberg Buick GMC in Carbondale. Right now, the Buick Encore is only $23,995. The Buick Envista is a super low $199 a month. And the truck, the GMC Sierra, is priced at a super low $33,990. So come fall in a savings and shop everything automotive at Chris Offenberg Buick GMC in Carbondale.
Advantage Offenberg.
John A. is
talking with Coach Charlie Jones here before taking on Brescia Developmental here. First home game of the year, Coach. I'm sure you're real happy to be at home and have some fans out and supporting you. And just first home game, there's always a little bit of jitters, but always excitement in it too.
Yes, it is. It's always one of those things when you come home and the girls can get a good night's sleep in their own bed and being in their own environment. It goes really well, especially early on in the season. Last year when we started out, most of our games early on were all away games. So it was a challenge, I think, the first 6 or 7 games last year. And so this year it's a little different coming home.
When you look at what happened this past weekend, 1-1, you were competitive in your loss against a top 10 team in Division II, and then you beat a top 15 team in Division II. What were your thoughts coming out of that weekend? I'm sure the goal was you'd like to go 2-0, but I'm sure the goal was 1-1, steal a win there. And what were your thoughts coming out of the weekend?
I was pretty satisfied with how the girls competed, and they didn't quit when we got down in both games. I just think there's a few things we needed to correct, especially in the first game. When you have 28 turnovers, it's tough. So if we had to limit our turnovers, I think that would have gotten us a chance to win the game, possibly. When you lose by 12 and you got 28 turnovers, so you can say, well, if you took care of the ball a little bit better, maybe the outcome would have been a little different. but both of those teams are tough teams. And as you know, the difference between Division I and Division II is a lot of time is housing and scholarship money, but the talent is still pretty much the same. And so I felt pretty good. I was able to see some things in the girls that I was looking for in a positive manner, and so we competed, and I'm pretty excited about our upside.
I feel like Kiara was probably the biggest, maybe not surprise, but the biggest kind of high note from the weekend. She came off the bench very well in Game 1, and I know Game 2 she did very well as well, even though I wasn't there. But I was listening to the game, and I heard her name being called in positive light several times. Was she probably the most positive thing from the weekend?
Yeah, it was a couple there. And of course, like you said, Adriana and Desiree James, and you know, Inslee stepped up as a sophomore, and I didn't mention on the radio, but you know, you watch Taylor play out there, and you're like, man, it don't seem like she producing like she normally. But when you look at the scorebook, you see that she led us in scoring both games, and it's just one of those things. And she was under the weather, so. And the other thing that we came out of that weekend, we had several sick, we had several injuries. And you know, they still competed and played hard.
Well, and I think with Taylor also, it's the fact that she's number one on the scouting report for everybody as well. And so it's the fact that, you know, other people need to step up to open her up a little bit. And you did see that happen, but in Game 1 especially, it didn't happen until the fourth quarter. So, but it's the rest of the team, I think, maybe coming to terms with knowing their role and knowing, hey, we got to make shots so then Taylor can open up in the second and third quarter.
Yes. And the other thing that it helped us to knowing the rotation. Because, you know, you got to get to know your personnel. Jamborees are good, get you the chance to play and scrimmage against other teams. But when it comes to the real games, you got to get your rotation down and figure out all of those things. And I tell you what, the girls just played hard. On the defensive end is the key. Our defense was pretty good. At times, we laxed a little bit. The first game in the third quarter got us a little bit. In the second quarter, we started letting down a little bit. But, you know, all in all, they're figuring out when you got as many freshmen and you only got really 3 sophomores, you know, you find your way, and we're finding our identity.
And games had different starting lineups. You had pieces that were in both starting lineups, but is that a case of, trying to figure out right now what your starting lineup is, or was it different matchups perhaps as well?
It was different matchups that I saw. And as you know, Inslee had been in the 3 spot or somewhat running 2 sometimes, but I put her in the 4 spot because of the matchup. And so it just game by game, it depends on who you're playing. And, of course, injuries can play a part in it, but your matchups is what you have to look at.
And then just real quickly, what are you? I know there's not really much about Brescia, but what are you looking at here today against your opponent?
We're looking to be able to do the things that we want to do on the defensive end and get better at it, and get better at our turnovers and maybe in shot selections, and hit our free throws if we get a chance to get to the free throw line. But main thing with us, we got to make sure we limit those turnovers.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
John A. is the only auto collision program in Southern Illinois. There's nobody else that offers it. We draw students from all over because there's just nobody else that offers the programs. The student-teacher relationship is one of the most important parts of this job.
You can't really go wrong here. Anything you want to learn, you can learn it here.
Whenever I started the program, I didn't feel too 110% about it. Like I wasn't sure how I was going to do, but that's what makes me confident. It's the teacher and the students that I'm surrounded by.
Hi guys, TJ Cowan from Cold Blooded. Coming to you, wanted to introduce the Cold Blooded Single Barrel Smokehouse. Here at Johnny Logan College, you guys are used to our coffee. Now come check out our food. Not your average college, not your average food.
Welcome back to John A. Logan Women's Basketball. Our national anthem just wrapping up here in Don Burr Gymnasium here in Cardiff, Illinois at John A. Logan College. John A. Logan Women's Basketball ready for their home opener here. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here on 1035ESPN.com and the 1035 ESPN app. Eric joins back in the studio helping to bring you today's game. In fact, without Eric, we would not be able to do this here today and wouldn't be able to play all the ads and all play the funky music and everything. So thank you, Eric, for being here and happy to be bringing you today's game here on 1035ESPN.com. Lady Vols coming to this one 1-1, where their opponent, Brescia Developmental, it's their first game of the season. Lady Bearcats are led by Jemiah Burks and Madeline Leon, whereas Charlie Jones is the head coach of the John A. Logan women's basketball team. It is year number 2 for Charlie Jones. He is assisted by Nick Griffith, Mariah Jones, Rod Wallace, and Mason Cole. And so we are about to find out the starting lineups here. Home opener for the Lady Vols.
I think we cheated. I think we know them.
Well,
maybe close.
We do a little bit of research. We talk to some people before we go on air. Without a doubt, that's our.
That helps us. It's tough to find stuff sometimes.
It can be tough sometimes. Brescia will be announced here first in just a moment. And they did have some players that were on the roster that are no longer on the roster for one reason or another, and had a couple added on to it. And some of the ones that were added are in the starting lineup. So we're probably going to learn just as much as their team does about some of those players here in about a few minutes.
It's kind of hard, too, because they have varsity and JV, and they have like 20-something players. So you don't know who's going to be where. Hey, your buddy Jimmy Dean's in the neighborhood here.
My buddy, your buddy.
Oh, my buddy, okay.
Our buddy, Jimmy Dean, is here. Brescia, as I mentioned, 0-0 on the season. This is their season opener. Logan has not seen Brescia in a couple years. I can tell you, though, the last time that Logan beat Brescia was, let's see, we've got to go down the list a little bit. Logan won on January 4th, 2020, 109-68. That was the last time they beat Brescia. Here's the starting lineup for the Lady Bearcats. Tia McGee's a 5'7" sophomore forward out of Atlanta, Georgia. It is Elise Williams, a sophomore guard, 5'5", out of Memphis. She went to Bartlett High School. Reagan Lawson is a 5'5" sophomore guard out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. She went to Warren East High School. Leah Partinger is a 5'3" sophomore guard out of Franklin, Kentucky. Went to Franklin Simpson High School. And Jaylee Covington's a sophomore forward, 5'8", out of Allen County, Kentucky. That is the starting lineup for the Lady Bearcats. For John A. Logan women's basketball, it's going to be another new look. They've had 3 games and they've had 3 different starting lineups. Now, some of them have been in all 3 games as the starting lineup, but some are getting their first start here today. First one off the bench is Brooklyn Burnett, the 6-foot freshman forward out of Massac County High School in Metropolis, just an hour south of Carterville. Ensley Tedeschi is the Benton native, sophomore forward, 6 foot, went to BCHS.
He's always smiling out there.
Always is, always chipper. Mariah Macklin is the 6'2" freshman center from Brighton, Tennessee. She went to Brighton High School. Patricia Tomaszewskis is getting her first start of the season, a 5'7" sophomore guard out of Lockport, Illinois. Lockport High School is where she attended. And rounding out the starting 5 for the Lady Vols, it is their star, Taylor Horton, 5'7" sophomore guard out of Cape Girardeau. Went to Cape Central High School. The Lady Vols are ready to go. They are 1-1, looking to start out the home portion of their schedule as a 1-0 team.
Horton had 16 points.
On Saturday,
Saturday in Tinsley, you had 10 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists.
Yeah, they had a pretty good time. They had a pretty good time up there, without a doubt. They are kind of the lead duo of this team, but don't be mistaken by any means. Lady Vols have a bunch of firepower on the bench as well. Pretty good crowd here for the home opener for the Lady Vols.
I told you earlier, there's one game last year we had
this might have been the big.
No, it didn't have this many people.
Yeah, I was going to say this might have been the biggest crowd last year for the Lady Vols. They'll take this, and hopefully this is a regular occurrence.
Yeah, come and watch it, women and the men.
Ensley Tedeschi tips the ball. Taylor Horton has it. Logan gets the ball to start today's game here in Cardiff, Illinois. Patricia Tomaszewskis on the far side. Skips, gets it on over to Tedeschi on the left wing after a pass from Macklin. Swings on over to Horton. Right wing three from her. Swishes right on in. And Logan's coming out with the trap press, and it's going to be Williams getting across the timeline just in time. Ball is loose on the floor, picked back up by Williams. Skip on over to Partinger going into the wood. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line is no good, and Macklin grabs the rebound. Here comes Horton now, swings down to Tomaszewskis, going to step on into the paint, on over to Burnett. Free throw line floater, no good, and it is rebounded by Williams. 3-0 lead for Logan here, 9:15 to go in the first quarter. Here comes Williams, bounce down low to McGee, up and in.
Nice pass.
Great pass right there, good
bounce
assist.
pass, yeah.
Nice assist right there to find McGee on the fast break. Here comes Horton now, 3-2 lead for Logan with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here on 103.5 ESPN.
Charlie Jones was right here too.
Yes, sir.
Talked a little bit.
Absolutely. Here is Horton now bringing it around top of the key. Sends up another three. That one off the back iron is no good. Burnett gets the rebound. Up, no good, but got fouled, and she'll go to the stripe here. On the season so far, Burnett yet to make a free throw. So she's looking for that first one here today. First foul goes to Tia McGee, the 5'7" sophomore forward from Atlanta, Georgia for Brescia. 8:44 to go. Brescia out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Here's the first free throw. It is offline for Burnett. And honestly, where Owensboro is, Tim, it's kind of a hot spot for recruiting. Second one, no good. When you think about it,
kind of reminds you of not exactly the Louisville.
Right, yeah, but you know it's got a good location because it's over by Louisville. Here's a floater up, no good for Williams. They call it travel on her anyways. But you think about where it's at, Atlanta, yeah, it's right down the road.
Not very far from University of Kentucky.
Right, yeah, but you can go right down the road to Atlanta. You can go over to Ohio, Kentucky, and Louisville area. It's a lot of good spots right there for basketball.
So you get your good recruits coming.
Yeah, exactly. Here is Macklin, top of the key. Left-hand dribble, flip on over to Tomaszewskis on the left wing. Driving into the paint now, floats it on up. That one rattles off, no good. Macklin fought for it. Tedeschi has it, though, backing down. Turn around, right-hand hook, no good, and rebounded by the Lady Bearcats. It is Covington with it. And she gets it on over to Williams now across the timeline. 3-2 lead for Logan, 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's McGee, top of the key, working against Burnett. Gets it on over to the left side, and now it's Covington driving in, floating up. That one no good. She got fouled, though, and will go to the stripe. And excuse me, that is Partinger going to the stripe.
Yeah, John A. Logan has a new coach. He's not new to the area, but Nick Griffith from West Franklin.
Yes,
coach
sir.
Lake assistant coach, him and Matt Hampelman up there.
Ryan Macklin picks up her first foul of the game. First one up is good for Partinger, ties it on up. Yeah, Nick Griffith comes on in this year as a new assistant for Logan. In fact, Matt Crane had to step aside, and Mariah Jones stayed on. Second one, no good, and
I didn't realize. I should realize that.
Ball goes out of bounds on the rebound attempt. Here comes Michaela Carter, Desaria James.
Stay in high school, Matt is.
Janiyah Harrison coming on in as well as Macklin, Tomaszewskis, and Burnett take a seat.
And Matt did a real good job, assistant coach.
Reagan Lawson into the game. She inbounds it. James gonna have some good defense. Poked all the way on out to Partinger, top of the key. Harrison, the Heron native, some good defense. Bounce on over. And now McGee drives in. I think it got a little tip, but still found its way to the iron. No good, though. Logan ball after James and Carter team up on the rebound. And now here's James, ball loose and taken away. It's a 3-3 game here. 7:25 to go in the first quarter. Here is Williams, top of the key, right-hand dribble, found her way. Oh, blocked by Carter. It is loose, and Carter has the rebound as well. Carter out of Philadelphia. She went to Emotep Charter. So did Asia Taylor, who's yet to see action in today's game. Tedeschi with a three. That one no good, and rebounded by Covington. Ball was loose for a second, but now Williams has it and bringing it on up. Williams across the timeline with James defending closely. Right-hand dribble, right in front of Logan bench. and tosses on over to Partinger. Swings on over to Lawson, steps on in for a pull-up jumper. That one is short. Rebounded, though, by Covington, and she's going to go to the stripe after Carter gets hit with a foul. That is going to be Logan's second team foul. Morgan Alexander about to come on in for the Lady Vols. She will come on in for James. Also coming in is Jayla Reed for Brescia, as McGee will take a seat. Tedeschi takes a seat as Alexander comes on in. 6:45 to go, 3-3 game, or rather the first shot is good for Covington. Makes it a 4-3 lead for the Lady Bearcats. Second one up, rattles down, and it is 5-3. Logan trails at home, 6:40 to go. Here's Horton, swings on over to Harrison, back on over to Carter, top of the key, being defended by Reed. Right-hand dribble, gives on over to Horton, curling around, and now gets on out to Alexander, left wing three. That one rolls out, no good. Harrison gets the rebound, up, left-hand hook is no good, and rebounded by Reed. Here now comes Lawson, left wing, setting up inside, Partinger up, and nice block there by Harrison, who takes the ball away. Here comes Horton now across the timeline. Sets up on the right wing, pulls up for the three, and that one is too strong. James has it now, gets it back on out to Alexander in the corner. Now James with it, slashing inside, swings it on up. That one's good. James averaged 13 points over the weekend in Champaign. 5-5 game here, 5:52 to go in the first. Here now is a three from Lawson. No good, and it's rebounded by Elise Williams. Down low to Reed, bounce on out top of the key for Lawson, driving in, pull-up jumper. That one no good, into the hands of Covington. Turnaround jumper no good, and rebounded, taken away. They're going to call a foul.
Delayed call, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty delayed.
Real delayed. It might have been the right call, but I didn't know it blocked it. Foul.
Third team foul for Logan as Janiah Harrison takes the foul. Horton's going to take a seat. Kiera Whitaker comes on in. Ryan Macklin also came on in. Didn't see who she came on in for. Out there for Logan currently. Well, timeout called, so we'll take one as well. It's a 5-5 tie game here early on, 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Home opener for the Lady Vols. We're back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to John A. Logan women's basketball tie game here. 5-5 is the score. Logan tied up with Brescia Developmental. 5:33 to go in the first quarter. And feels like Logan is just having bad shot selection here early on, Tim.
It is. You have to work the ball a little bit and feel comfortable. Sometimes it works good that way if you get a quick shot off. But it's open, but let it settle down.
They're getting the offensive boards, but then they're immediately turning around for a hook shot, and I don't know if that's the best shot either.
If you got a nice shot off the rebound, take it, not set it back up.
All right. 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Logan is tied up 5-5 as the huddle breaks for the timeout.
And Nick Griffith is playing something to Inslee Tedeschi.
Yes, sir.
So good, you got a little depth here in this lady squad.
Jaylee Covington for the Lady Bearcats going to the stripe. She's already 2 for 2 on the day. 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here on 1035ESPN.com. First one up, rattles down for Covington. She was one of the 3 new additions for the Lady Bearcats here that we found out about today when they got into the gym. Second one up is short and rebounded by Macklin. Got on over to James. Here she comes racing down the floor, slashing on in, down low. Bobbled it, got it up. That one bounces off, no good, and rebounded by Covington. They are boxing out pretty well here early on.
They're small, they're boxing out.
Here's Covington now, top of the key, driving on in. Gets out to the corner for a 3. That one rattles off, no good. Rebounded by Kiera Whitaker. Abby Walker was the one that took the 3. And ball poked loose, but Logan able to save it. Here is James, top of the key, looking around, right-hand dribble, dealing with Marta Fernandez down low. Morgan Alexander up and in.
Good pass by James.
It's a 7-6 lead for Logan now with 4:50 to go in the first quarter. Here's Walker driving on in, floats it up. Oh! Looked like Macklin got a clean block, but they say no, she smacked the hand.
Hit it afterwards, too.
Yeah, I think that it would be it. And so Walker's going to go to the stripe here in a second. 4:45 to go. That is Macklin's second foul. Tia McGee comes on in as Covington takes a seat for Brescia. 4:46 to go in the first. Logan leading 7-6. First one up for Walker. Rattles off, no good. Brooklyn Burnett about to check in for Logan.
From Massac County,
yes,
Metropolis.
Sir. Metropolis, Illinois. About an hour south of Carterville here. Second one up for Walker. Rattles off, no good. Rebounded by McGee. And now she's fighting to get a shot up. Blocked out of bounds.
By Harrison.
By Harrison, the Heron native. Macklin's going to take a seat with 2 fouls on her already. Brooklyn Burnett comes on in. 4:41 to go in the first. Logan still leading 7-6. And Williams on the baseline gets it on out. Right wing 3. That one no good for Fernandez, and Burnett grabs the rebound. Here comes Whitaker, the freshman out of Kentucky. Top of the key, trying to slash on in. Gets it to James, and nice weaving action here. Floats it on up. Oh, rattles out, no good. Offensive rebound, good for James on the corner. Now it's Whitaker, top of the key, right-hand dribble. Sends it up from the top of the key. Good, it's a 2-pointer. 9-6 lead for Logan, and they're trapping once again in the backcourt. Walker gets it on over to McGee. Swings on over to Williams across the timeline now. Sets up at the left wing, driving on inside now against Alexander. To the right wing for Fernandez. And she lost the ball, but now picks it on up. Whitaker with some excellent defense. Gets it on over to Williams now right in front of us. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. 9-6 lead for Logan against Brescia. Left-hand dribble for Williams, top of the key, going against Alexander into the paint. And blocked by Whitaker, but it's going to be a foul here on Whitaker. And that'll be the 15th foul for Logan. Or no, Alexander's going to be the one that picks up the foul. Adriana Hendricks out of El Dorado coming on in for Alexander. She didn't see action in game number 1, but did see action in game number 2. She had 7 points on Saturday, a rebound, an assist, and 3 steals. 3:51 to go. First one up for Williams. Bounces off, no good. 9-6 lead for Logan. Can cut it down to a 2-point game here if Williams makes the second of the shots. Up and rattles out, no good. Harrison gets the rebound.
I'm liking her already.
Yeah, I've been impressed so far early going. Whitaker backing down into the paint and tried to get it on over to Burnett. Poked on out, and they're going to say that it was Brescia that touched it last.
Only second turnover for the Johnny Logan squad.
Nevaeh Yates and Covington come on in as Reed and Williams take a seat for the Bearcats. 21 on the shot clock. Burnett's going to inbound on the baseline. 9-6 lead for Logan. 3:42 to go. Lob on in to Harrison, top of the key. Left-hand dribble on into the paint. And she got fouled. Going up. She should be going to the stripe.
Yeah, 2 free throw.
And that's going to be on Nevaeh Yates. Came right in and picked up a foul. Harrison 50% of the stripe through just 2 games this season so far. 3:39 to go. Logan struggling to find buckets here early on. Here's the Heron native at the stripe. Sends it on up. Lefty, that one rattles down and good.
Yeah, swishing.
Harrison is a 5'11" freshman forward. As I mentioned, she's from Heron, went to Heron High School. Second one goes up. That one is good as well for the lefty.
Nice shot.
McGee inbounds, finds Fernandez, and ball poked loose, and Hendricks has the steal. Bringing it around now, gives on over to Whitaker. Whitaker at the volleyball line now, 3.5 to go till the end of the first. Pulls in for a 15-footer. That one rolls off no good, and McGee gets the rebound. 11-6 lead for Logan, and here now comes Hardinger on the near side. And now on over to the left wing and inside down low for McGee. Up and no good, but she got fouled and will go to the stripe. Desaria James is going to get hit with a foul. That'll be her first and 6th team foul here in the first quarter.
Lady basketball, you have the 5th foul due by each quarter you get there. 2 free throws.
Yep, they're already in the bonus. Here is McGee at the stripe. First one goes up and rattles off, no good. She's got 2 points so far today. Nobody really taking over the ball game just yet here, Tim.
No. Logan holding this team down, though.
Second one up for McGee. Goes in. 3 points for McGee. Here comes Williams. Here comes Lawson for the Bearcats. Sitting down is Fernandez and Yates. 11-7 lead for Logan with 3:05 to go in the first quarter. James flips on over to Whitaker, top of the key. Weaving with Hendricks, top of the key. And she's going to send up the three. That one, no good, a little offline and rebounded by Partinger. James going to get hit with a foul here on the reach. Her second.
2 free throws coming up.
Exactly, I was about to say. She's sending them to the line. Asia Taylor makes her first appearance in this game as James takes a seat, and I believe every Lady Ball has now had an appearance here in the first quarter. 7 minutes and 6 seconds into the game.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'd be ready to go if they had to call for it in the game.
At any moment, yeah. 11-7 lead for Logan. First one up for Partinger, bounces off.
Getting breaks or misses free throw.
Partinger is now 1 for 3 at the stripe here today. 2:54 to go. Here comes the second one for her, trying to make it 50% back to it. Up and rattles off, no good. Harrison with the leaping rebound. Gives on over to Taylor, top of the key. Sets up the volleyball line, going to the right, flips on over to Whitaker. She'll weave around to the left wing, gives on over to Hendricks, top of the key, and she's going to step on inside, and now stops, sends up a shot. That one goes on in, smooth as butter.
She's not bad.
Here comes McGee, and splitting on through 3 Lady Vols. On over to Partinger to the left wing for a 3. That one rattles out, no good. McGee gets it back on out to Williams, top of the key, over to Partinger once again. Swings on over to Lawson on the left wing, inside to Covington. Covington to the free throw line, pivoting right, taken away by Harrison. Here comes Janiyah, and she gives it over to Asia, stepping in, on over to Brooklyn Burnett, and poked on out. And let's see here. It's going to be, I think they called a travel here, and it's going to be Brescia ball. 2:11 to go. 13-7 lead for Logan here in their home opener. Here comes Williams across the timeline now. Right wing stepping on in. It's Williams once again. Back on over to Partinger. Partinger looks around. Right-hand dribble, gives back over to Williams. Back over to Partinger. She didn't want it, but now here it is. Found the alleyway, up and in.
This team's not going to give up.
No. 4 points for Partinger. 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Logan leads 13-9 in their home opener. Asia Taylor with the double screen. Gets on over to Harrison, top of the key. Flips on over to Hendricks now on the far side. Swings on over to Whitaker, left wing 3. That one is a little short and rebounded by Lawson. Lawson flips on over to Williams. And now it's Partinger stepping on in. No defense, up, swishes on in. It's a 2-point game.
Matador defense, let it go by.
Partinger up to 5 points here today. It's 13-11. Logan leads with 1:15 to go in the quarter. Hendricks, top of the key, gives on over to Whitaker, top of the keys, trying to spin move in, sends up a shot. That one contested, no good, and it is rebounded, still being fought. Taylor's going to be the one with the rebound, and they call a travel on her. Indeed, she did walk.
Yes, indeed.
Taylor's going to come off. Hendricks is going to come off. Harrison's going to come off as Horton, Tomaszewskis, and Tedeschi come on in. They're the core 3 sophomores.
Give them a minute break here, plus a timeout.
1:03 to go in the game. Ball was inbounded, but Williams couldn't corral it. Goes out of bounds. It is Logan ball with 1 minute and 1 second on the clock in the quarter. Logan leads it 13-11. Tomaszewskis on the baseline, looking around. Lobs on into Burnett, gets it on over to Tedeschi, top of the key. Pivots, gets it on over to Tomaszewskis, and she calls for the play. 55 seconds to go, 23 on the shot clock. Left wing goes away from the pick. Pivot around and working it up, and no good. And Burnett poked it on out. Got out over to Whitaker for a jumper. That one bounces off, no good. Poked out once again, and it's rebounded by the Lady Bearcats. Here's Williams with some heavy press defense. On over to McGee and swings on over to Lawson. Down on over, down to Covington, up and in for Covington. ties it up 13-13. Yeah, 27.3 on the clock. Charlie Jones not happy with what he is seeing from his team right now. He calls a timeout. We'll take one as well and be back in 30 seconds on 1035ESPN.com.
Welcome to Mackey's. How can I help you?
Hey, welcome to Mackey's Pizza. Every Monday night we have half-price cheese breadsticks. Monday through Friday we have a great lunch special. We can get 8-inch pizza, a small salad, and a drink for $7.49. So come out and see us and enjoy everything at Mackey's.
Tie game here in the first quarter of John A. Logan women's basketball's home opener against Brescia Developmental. Logan tied up 13-13 with 27 seconds to go here in the first quarter. They can have the final possession here as we return to the action. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here in Don Brewer Gymnasium. Here's Ensley Tedeschi. Gets down to Brooklyn Burnett. Turnaround right hand hook is just a little short and rebounded by Covington, and a foul here as well. 13.2 on the clock.
The foul, Patricia.
Yes, sir. Patricia Tomaszewskis gets her first foul of the game and sends the Lady Bearcats to the stripe.
For 2 free throws, too.
Yeah. 13-13 is the score here. Coming up later tonight, John A. Logan men's basketball has their home opener. They will be playing Montlow State, who is 0-2. First one up for Covington is good. She is 4 for 5 at the stripe. Can make it 5 for 6 with another make here. Up and good. 5 for 6. She's got 7 points tonight. It's 15-13 in favor of Brescia. Here's Tomaszewskis weaving around, gives on over to Whitaker, top of the key. 4 seconds to go, sends up the 3. That one is offline and rebounded by the Lady Bearcats. There's the buzzer. Logan trailing at the end of one. 15-13. We'll step away for a minute and be back on 1035ESPN.com.
Fall into savings at Chris Offenberg, Buick GMC, and Carbondale. Right now, the Buick Encore is only $23,995. The Buick Envista is a super low $199 a month. And the truck, the GMC Sierra, is priced at a super low $33,990. So come fall into savings and shop everything automotive at Chris Offenberg, Buick GMC, and Carbondale.
Advantage Offenberg.
Our students are employed immediately. Sometimes they are employed before they get their associate's degree.
I have a position working in early childhood. Dr. Marilyn Tolliver, my professor, was able to really prepare me to be able to teach in a classroom as a lead teacher.
To see them interact and engage in what I'm teaching them is life-changing.
We want to help.
Logan women's basketball, Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie on the call here. It is 15-13 as we begin the second quarter, not in favor of the Lady Vols. And I think the big thing right now, Tim, shot selection. We talked about it coming out of one of the breaks in the first quarter. Shot selection has been a big question for Lady Vols here early on in this game.
Definitely. Logan's got to get a better selection, better shots.
Brescia is on an 8-point run right now, and a jump ball called here as the ball ended up in Jaylee Covington's hands.
Kind of weird situation, right in the middle of all three referees. One referee called, the other two didn't.
Yeah. Jaylee Covington had the ball. Patricia Tomaszewski kind of blew by her, but tried to steal it out of her hands, and they called jump ball, Logan ball here.
Yeah, could have been a foul, jump ball.
Yeah, she got lucky. Could have been a reach. Here is Taylor Horton on the left wing, looking around. Right-hand dribble on over to the top. He steps on in for the free throw line. Jumper rattles down. She's up to 5 points.
Yeah, she's got to get going there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised how long she sat on the bench there in the first quarter, Tim.
You're right.
Lady Bearcats break through the trap, and now it is Hardinger top of the key. Swings on over to Lawson on the near side. Going to try to go with the alleyway down low. Forced out of bounds. It's going to be Logan Ball. Some good defense there by Kiara Whitaker.
It was. Forced a turnover.
Whitaker, a 5'11" freshman guard out of Bardwell, Kentucky. Carlisle County High School is where she went. She had over 2,000 points in her high school career. Morgan Alexander, left wing, gets a pick from Tedeschi, and now on over to Tomaszewskis. 9:12 to go in the half. Left-hand dribble from a pick. Oh, found her way right into the trees. An easy layup right there for Tomaszewskis.
Left-hand layup.
She split through 2 defenders on her way there, too.
Yeah.
Williams.
Nobody stopped her.
Yeah, Pardinger now with it at the volleyball line. Logan leads it now, 17-15, after dealing with Brescia leading for the first time at the start of the second quarter. Here is Covington, left hand, and waiting. Swings on over to McGee, and she's going to go against Alexander. Reverse layup, doesn't matter. They call for a foul here on Alexander. That's going to be Alexander's second. It's her first team foul for the Lady Vols here in the second quarter. Nevaeh Yates comes on in, so does Marta Fernandez, as Reagan Lawson and Malia Pardinger take a seat. Elise Williams on the baseline will inbound. 17-15 is the lead for Logan. Driving baseline is Fernandez. Floater up, no good. Rebounded by Whitaker. Alexander. Alexander gets on over to Horton. No, couldn't corral it in, goes out of bounds. I think they're going to say the Lady Bearcats touched it last, though, which would be Yates touching it last. And so Tomaszewski is going to inbound in front of the fans on the far side. Gets on into Tedeschi, back on over to Tomaszewski as she calls for a new play. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Flip on over to Horton, down to the key. Sends up the three. That one no good. Rebounded by Tedeschi, though. Back out to Tomaszewski on the left wing. Jab step driving into the paint. Back on out to Whitaker. Swings on over to Alexander for the three. That one no good. And rebounded by Covington. Some good threes, though, that they're taking here.
Yeah, it's good. Straight away through.
Down low, McGee on the fast break, up and in. She is up to 5 on the day.
You got to get back quicker. You only have one person back.
Tied up again, 17-17 here at Don Burr Gymnasium. Horton across the timeline, 7:53 to go. Swing on over to Alexander on the right wing. Morgan Alexander jab steps and now brings it to the left side. Flip on over to Whitaker on the left wing. Right hand, and now she's going to get a pick from Tedeschi. Free throw line pull up, that one no good, and rebounded by Williams. It was a little too strong off the back iron. 7:35 to go in the half. Williams on the right wing being defended by Whitaker. Driving in, and they call it...
reach, I think.
Call it reach, I think, yeah.
Or Tedeschi. You touch him or not.
Whitaker.
You touch him or all, that's going to call a foul.
At first, it looked like they might have been calling a travel by the preliminary signal, and then all of a sudden it did turn into a reach. Whitaker takes a seat right next to us. Yeah. Inbound to Covington, down low, turnaround jumper is good.
That's out of bounds play. They got it open right away.
Covington with 9 points, 19-17 lead for Brescia. Here is Tedeschi driving baseline up. Oh, too short, and it's rebounded by Reed. Here now is the Lady Bearcats. Fernandez with it, ball loose, taken away by Logan. Here comes Tedeschi at the other end, and they're going to call a travel on her. Yeah, she did travel there, took the extra step. 7:10 to go in the half. Logan trailing 19-17 against Brescia Developmental.
Logan, only 4 turnovers unofficially.
Which they needed to cut down on that, but now it's been something else, you know. So Logan's still a young team. You got to keep that in mind. 7 freshmen, and they are feeling it right now. Williams on the near side, dealing with Tomaszewski. Left-hand dribble, bounce on over to Fernandez in the corner. Sends up the 3 after stepping in, and it's good. Excuse me, that's a 2. 21-17 lead for the Lady Bearcats. Left-hand dribble, flip on over to Horton, trying to curl on in, out to Alexander. Left-hand dribble into the paint, back out to Tedeschi. Top of the key 3 from her is a little offline. Poked out by Horton, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lady Bearcats. 6:37 to go in the half. Logan trailing 21-17. Abby Walker comes on in as Covington takes a seat. This is game number 1 of the season for Brescia Developmental. Inbound to Williams. Tomaszewski almost took it away, but instead she's behind in the defense now. Williams down low to Reed. Jayla Reed going against Alexander. Up, no good. Rebounded. It's loose, and Tedeschi gets the rebound. Tedeschi brings it on up. Down to Alexander looking to pass. Pivots around. Down inside, and now she's going to get it out to Tomaszewski. 6:14 to go, 19 on the shot clock. Tomaszewski at the volleyball line, dealing with Fernandez. A nice pick from Tedeschi. Down low she goes into the elbow and waiting for it. Flips on over to Tedeschi. Pull-up jumper. That one off the iron, no good, and rebounded by Williams. 6 minutes to go. Logan trails 21-17 here in the second quarter. Down low and up and good. No good for Yates. It's loose on the floor. Tedeschi fights for it with Williams. Jump ball called, and it's going to stay with the Bearcats.
Had a 3-on-1 break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one of their players stood the corner.
5:49 to go in the half. Logan trailing 21-17 against the Bearcats. Williams lobs on in to Jayla Reed, and ball taken away, and a whistle here.
Tedeschi on the steal.
It's going to be Logan ball here. Yeah, Tedeschi stole it, and then it was Jayla Reed who's getting the reaching foul here. She said, uh-oh, I made a mistake here, and tried to correct it, but then it became a foul. Alexander's going to take a seat.
I like the way the referees called it. They didn't call a quick jump ball. I mean, I don't care if it's the other team or not.
I agree, yeah. Kira Whitaker comes in for Alexander. Media timeout, 5:44 to go in the second quarter. Logan trails 21-17. We're back in a minute.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Basketball, Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie on the call here on 1035ESPN.com. Eric joins back in the studio, helping to bring you today's game. 5:44 to go in the first half. Logan trails Brescia Developmental 21-17. None of the Lady Vols really been able to get hot, be able to get going here. Brescia has had Jaylee Covington, who basically joined the team officially today. They didn't know they were going to have her until today is what we're told. She's got 9 points for them.
What's her name?
Jaylee Covington. But other than that, it's been mostly no one particularly of note that has been stepping up. It's just been Covington that's been playing the game here today consistently.
Got on the team today, huh?
Yeah, Dazaria James down for Logan gets a pick from Tedeschi out to Tomaszewskis on the right wing now. 20 on the shot clock. Pick from Whitaker, stepping on in is Tomaszewskis, and Euro steps up and in for the shot.
I was just thinking she's going to have to score if this team can win.
Somebody's got to step up and start playing more consistently, scoring more consistently.
She's a sophomore. She can pick it up.
Here now is Brescia top of the key. It is Yates top of the key with it. Picked up her dribble. Now it's on over to Marta Fernandez on the right wing, being defended by Tomaszewskis. Bounce on over to Abby Walker in the corner. Bounce down low for Jayla Reed, and it's going to go off of Reed and go out of bounds. Whitaker inbounds to Horton, and she'll bring it on up with 5 minutes to go in the half. Logan trailing 21-19. Horton top of the key, trying to get things set up, goes to the left. Right hand in and bounce on out to Tomaszewskis in the corner. Now driving in, floats it on up. That one no good and rebounded by Reed. Gets on over to Yates, and it's loose, and now she picks it on up. Yates, Nevaeh Yates driving in against James. And this is a charge right here. This has got to be a charge. Yes, there it is. James just set her feet and took the contact there.
So she stood there and, like I said, got the contact.
Yates picks up her second foul. That's the second team foul for the Lady Bearcats as well. Covington ready to come back in for Brescia. Here is Horton across the timeline, trying to give on over to James. Couldn't get it to her, so she says, I'll take the three. No good. Tedeschi grabs the offensive board. Up. No good, but she got fouled and going to the stripe. That'll be on Reed, her second. And Tia McGee is going to be coming on in a moment.
Tedeschi's fourth rebound, plus a steal.
Tedeschi looking for her first points here at the stripe. Yates and Reed take a seat as Covington and McGee come on in. Tedeschi at the stripe, up, and rattles off no good. She's averaging 10 points in her first 2 games this season. Here comes number 2. Up and good. Coming up at halftime, we do an interview with John A. Logan men's basketball coach assistant Marcus Walker. Stick around for that. Elise Williams bringing it on up across the timeline. Top of the key, driving into the paint now. Spinning around, gets it on over to Covington at the free throw line. Steps around, Whitaker sends it on up after a spin move. No good. And it's rebounded, and it's loose, and Horton has it, and now it's McGee with it. Somebody's got to get on the ball. Here is
both players hit it.
Nobody really knew that it had been poked out. Walker now, top of the key, driving with the right hand. Couldn't find an open lane there. And now jump ball with Tomaszewski. Some good defense there to get her hands in there.
Yeah, she had to walk really towards the tight end.
Yeah. 8 seconds on the shot clock is going to get changed to 30. 3:54 to go. Logan takes possession after the jump ball. Whitaker gets it on in to Horton. 21-20 lead for Brescia. Here now is Desaria James driving on in, gets it on out to Whitaker, right hand dribble, gets a pick from Tedeschi, drives into the paint, and here's a foul. And who will it be on? It's going to be on Williams, her first, 4th team foul for the Lady Bearcats. And you know, this is something that I noticed over the weekend, Tim, and this is just having a young team. This is going to happen. They haven't been able to figure out how to draw fouls early on. Kiara Whitaker makes the first one here.
Yeah, you're going to make them pay for it. If they're right on you, won't let you take the jump shot.
Absolutely, but we're starting to see flashes of that, and I would assume come the end of the season, they'll be experts at that. Makes both of them. Whitaker's got 4 points on the night now. On the season coming into it, Whitaker averaging 62.5% at the stripe, so that'll go up now after making 2 there. McGee bringing it on up out of the backcourt and got it on over to Williams. Has to go against Tedeschi down low, gets it on over to Covington. Oh, Tomaszewski, I think, almost stole it away.
She's on the line.
And she
back line.
Stole it away with her foot on the line, so it stays with the Lady Bearcats.
24 seconds to shoot.
3:37 on the game clock in the first half. Logan leading now, 22-21 against.
Going fast.
Inbound to Covington, top of the key. Flip on over to Reagan Lawson. Gets on over to Partinger on the right wing. Whitaker with the defense. And now back on over to Lawson. Almost lost it, but she corrals it in. Tedeschi defending, top of the key. Trying to step on in. Ball is loose. Desaria James steals it away. Gets it on over to Horton. Horton lobs it out to Tomaszewski in the corner now. Back on over to Horton, and she almost lost it, but corralled it in. 3:15 to go in the half. Logan is leading 22-21 against Brescia. Horton at the volleyball line, 15 on the shot clock. Nice pick there from Tedeschi. Gets it over to Tedeschi for the 3, and it's short, but Desaria James saves it. Send up a shot, no good. Ball is loose on the floor now, goes out of bounds. It's Logan ball, because they say that Elise Williams touched it last. 2:58 to go, 7 on the shot clock here on this possession. Tomaszewski looking around, gets it on over to Horton on the right wing. 6 on the shot clock now. She's got to move. 5, 4, 3, and she's going to have to just pull up for a 3, and it's not going to make its way to the rim. Shot clock violation.
Tedeschi was out there and shot over her.
Yeah. 2:49 to go now. Brescia has the ball. They'll be inbounding. Tia McGee on the baseline, looks around. Logan going with the press trap. Gets it on in to Williams. Back on over to McGee, and they're learning how to stop the press trap. Here is Williams, brings it across the timeline now. Logan leads 22-21. Bounce on over to McGee at the volleyball line. Tia McGee looking around, 5'8" out of Atlanta. Gets it on over to Partinger, calling for the play. And now left-hand dribble, gets a pick, and now she's driving around against Ensley Tedeschi. Ball is loose, and it's taken away. Now McGee, a top-of-the-key 3. That one rattles out, no good. Whitaker has the rebound, and are they going to call a push here? Foul is on the floor. And they're going to call a foul here on Desaria James, and she can't believe it. So it didn't matter that Whitaker grabbed the rebound out of the air. They say James had a foul here. That's her third team foul for Logan.
She didn't like the call, but who does like the call when they call you a foul on you?
Asia Taylor comes on into the game now.
I'd like to see that again, though, on video.
Yeah, James takes a seat. Inbounding is Williams. Taking her time, lobs on in, and she couldn't find. Partinger goes out of bounds, and it's Logan ball. Meanwhile, Kiera Whitaker is getting a talking to from Coach Charlie Jones and telling her, hey, this is where you messed up. I need you to be better here. Taylor Horton bringing it on up.
That's the way to do it, be positive.
Yep, absolutely. Horton gets on over to Tomaszewski on the right wing. Looking around, pick from Taylor, stepping on in, delayed shot, on over to Tedeschi now, and right-hand hook. It goes down, and she's going to the line for the and one. Tedeschi up to 3. There's the nice shot there if you're watching on the video feed. That's how you do a hook shot. Logan's been struggling with the hook shot, but if you're going to do it, you don't want to do it on the on spin move.
You know, the hook shot's got a lost arc, plus use the backboard.
Yep.
I mean, she did use the backboard and hook.
The problem with the hook shots here today, Tim, is the fact that they're turning around to take the shot. And one no good for Tedeschi. Logan leads at 24-21 with 2 minutes to go in the half. McGee bringing it up against Whitaker, gets it on over to Partinger. And Whitaker, I'm surprised she didn't get hit with a foul here. She laid all over Partinger.
No blood, no harm.
Yeah, and it wasn't intentional by any means. And down low, poked on out. Logan's going to get the ball here. Whitaker gets it in the corner, and now she's dealing with
Tedeschi had tipped it to her.
She tipped it to her, you're right. Whitaker driving on in, and ball got poked out, goes out of bounds to stay with Logan. 1:36 to go. 24-21 is the lead for Logan here as we near halftime. Tomaszewskis will inbound on the baseline. Looking around, going to lob to Tedeschi at the top of the key. Tedeschi looks around, left-hand dribble, tries to step in, can't do it. Horton, top of the key, 3 for her. That one, just bounces off the rim. Taylor gets the rebound, up, and no good. Rebounded by Williams. 24-21 lead, and here now is Covington down low on the fast break, up and in. She gets back to being a menace, 11 points for her.
Lady Ball's got to get back. There's no excuse on that.
24-23 lead for Logan here. 1:10 to go till halftime. Tomaszewskis coming around, top of the key, gets on over to Whitaker, top of the key, running the weave, driving in, and she sends it up and in, and she's going to the line for an and one.
Oh, that was similar shots.
That was a circus shot right there for Whitaker. Wow. She sent up a line drive to the basket. I don't know if she even intended for it to happen, honestly, but she made it work.
Usually don't go in.
Usually not, no. Tia McGee picks up foul number 2. That is the 5th team foul for Brescia here. And one up and in for Whitaker. She's 3 for 3 at the line today. 1:02 to go. Partinger has it. Deals with the pressure, gets across half court. Horton defending. Right wing is where Partinger sets up. Calls for a pick from Covington. She's going to go away from it. Now towards it. And now Tedeschi pokes it on out. But Partinger picks it back on up. And the ball's loose again. Goes out of bounds. They're going to call a kick ball here. And I believe it's going to stay with Brescia.
Could have been a foul call there on Logan.
Yeah, they got lucky. 44.7 on the clock till halftime. Logan is leading 27-23 against the Lady Bearcats. It will be Lawson inbounding in front of the Logan bench. Whitaker defending. Marta Fernandez comes on in for Partinger.
She's one of the new players on the list.
Yes, sir. Lawson lobs on in to Covington, down low, and no good, but she got fouled by Tedeschi, and she looks on over and says, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that was fortunate they didn't get the easy bucket there.
Tedeschi picks up foul number 1, 4th team foul of the quarter for the Lady Vols. Mike Murphy, the voice of the Logan men, has entered the building, and he'll be
Greg Sterick, athletic director.
Yes, sir. He'll be on the call later tonight for the men's game. First one up and in for Covington. She is 6 for 7 at the stripe here. She has made a majority of her points there today. Second one up is good. Make it 8 points at the stripe. She has 13 points today. Here now is Taylor, and goes out of bounds. She couldn't corral it in, got a little loose with it, and it's going to be Brescia ball with 36 seconds to go. Adriana Hendricks.
Jones wanted to get a quick shot, get a 2-for-1 like the NBA does.
Yeah, but they went a little too fast and loose.
Yeah, you're right.
Adriana Hendricks, the El Dorado native, comes into the game for Taylor. Here comes Elise Williams, bringing it on up across the timeline. Tomaszewskis defending, 30 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock. Left-hand dribble going against Tomaszewskis, can't get inside, gets on out to Lawson, and gets a pick from Williams. Down low, stolen away by Whitaker. They were looking for McGee, and Whitaker just stepped inside like she was a defensive back, like Deion Sanders out there. Gets it on over to Horton. They have the final possession, 14 on the game clock and shot clock. Horton, top of the key, gets a pick from Tedeschi, goes away from it, and spin moves into the paint, back out to Hendricks, right-hand dribble, down low on the baseline, up, and rolls off, no good, and it's now loose, and it is halftime here at Don Brewer Gymnasium. Logan is leading 27-25, but they are finding out that Brescia is no slouch. They might have come in thinking this might be an easier contest, but no siree. This one has been a nail-biter from start to finish here. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call. Eric joins back in the studio, hoping to bring you today's game. Logan is leading at halftime, 27-25. We'll step away for a minute. When we come back, we'll start our halftime show right here on 1035ESPN.com.
Welcome to Mackey's. How can I help you?
Hey, welcome to Mackey's Pizza. Every Monday night we have half-price cheese breadsticks. Monday through Friday we have a great lunch special. We can get 8-inch pizza, a small salad, and a drink for $7.49. So come out and see us and enjoy everything at Mackey's.
Fall into savings at Chris Offenberg Buick GMC in Carbondale. Right now, the Buick Encore is only $23,995. The Buick Envista is a super low $199 a month. And the truck, the GMC Sierra, is priced at a super low $33,990. So come fall into savings and shop everything automotive at Chris Offenberg Buick GMC in Carbondale.
Advantage Offenberg.
Welcome back to John A. Logan Women's Basketball. Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie on the call here. It is 27-25 at halftime. Lady Vols are leading Brescia Developmental here. And the Lady Vols struggling in the first half a little bit, Tim, to find good shots. And I don't know if maybe they overestimated or rather underestimated Brescia a little bit too much, but Brescia is over here and they're giving them a game here. And you can't come in underestimating anybody in college basketball.
No, so. any kind of program or anything, you gotta play every game. And we've all been in situations we played a team that wasn't supposed to be very good, and they whip you, you almost lose to.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, you didn't know anything about Brescia coming on into the game. This is their first game of the season, so you had no reason to believe that they might be a team that you could just come in and take the day off and still pick up a win by any means.
Hey, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do a regular, like Montville here, they're doing a regular warm-up at halftime of the women's game. It's all right. Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they like it, yeah. They're 0-2, so I'm sure they're sitting there saying we could use every bit of warm-up that we can use to make sure that when it comes game time, we're ready to go. Here is how the scoring looks at halftime for Logan. They are led by Kiera Whitaker with 7 points. After that, it is Taylor Horton with 5. Patricia Tomaszewskis has 4. Mariah Macklin has 3. And then it is Desaria James, Janiyah Harrison, Morgan Alexander, and Adriana Hendricks all have 2. Brooklyn Burnett in the scorebook, but she's got 0 points. She was 0 for 2 at the stripe in the first quarter. Moving on over to Brescia Developmental, looking for their first win of the season. They are led by Jaylee Covington, who walking in today, she was not on the roster, but she is playing for them today, and she is very good with 13 points. Then it is Tia McGee and Malia Partinger with 5 points apiece, and Marta Fernandez has 2. And so that is how the scoring. If you take away the 3 newcomers here, Tim, for the Bearcats, Covington, Fernandez, and McGee, Brescia has 5 points, with Partinger being the only one that scored.
So maybe they reversed it, or maybe they put it back in JV.
Perhaps something like that. I'm not
sure.
We
got lists of different players.
Absolutely. So Elise Williams and Abby Walker both in the scorebook with 0 points. They both also went 0 for 2 at the stripe earlier in the game. So when you look at what you need to do here, Coach Charlie Jones is obviously going to be talking to them this entire halftime here.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean,
about that.
I think shot selection is going to be one of the big things. I think also, they're kind of trying to force shots a little bit here, and I think that's going to be when they started running plays a little bit more, running sets. That seemed to work pretty well.
If you don't have the rebound, Tedeschi had 4 rebounds, and then we had 18, had 5 assists and 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
So turnovers are good.
I'd say so.
Assists, need more assists.
Yeah, absolutely need more.
Of course, you got to finish it off. So.
Yep. Got to run your sets. Got to get those assists.
Run the play. If you got fast break, take them out, set it up. Secondary offense where you get a lot of points.
Right, absolutely. And not saying that they're not running a bunch of sets, but definitely feels like when someone comes up to the volleyball line and calls for play number 22 or Ohio or whatever they're calling for, that's when they look like they're most in sync and they're getting good shots. And maybe they're not making all of them, but it's working out. But yeah, aside from that, I think you need somebody to kind of grab a hold of momentum here, Tim, and be the leader here today. No one has really stepped up yet and said, I'm going to lead us here today. And part of it is that the shots aren't falling, but at the same time, somebody's got to get hot for Logan, or else a 2-point lead at halftime is not going to be enough.
Your defense is good. They're holding a team to 25. That's good.
Yeah.
You're in the ball game. If you didn't play good defense, you'd be out of it.
Right, exactly. 27-25, the lead for Logan women here in their home opener. They come into the game 1-1, whereas Brescia Developmental, their opponent, is 0-0. This is their first game of the season. Eric joins back in the studio, helping to bring you today's game, and I want to say thanks to John LeBlanc and all the great work that he does with the videos and helping to bring you today's video feed on Facebook as well, if you're watching on there. We're going to step away for a minute-long break. When we come back, we will have our halftime interview. It is with men's basketball assistant coach Marcus Walker. We're back in a minute right here on 1035ESPN.com. Talking with assistant coach Marcus Walker here on the halftime show for the men's basketball team. Marcus, you've been here for what seems like forever now, and it's just another year for Logan basketball. And just talk a little bit about just the people that are just tuning in, your journey here at Logan now, because you've been here for a long time and you've had to climb to where you are now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So really, this is my 10th season here, just being a part of the John A. Logan College program, and it's been probably the best 10 years of my life. I've been given the opportunity of work with so many different student athletes from all over the United States, and just being that person to help push them inside the classroom and on the court to get them to the next level. So that's really been the goal, and it's been very fulfilling for me just to seeing those guys move on to the next level and everything.
And you weren't even an assistant coach when you started here. You started with Coach Kyle Smith-Peters at the time, and you were mostly the manager and the water boy and everything.
Yes, sir.
What did that experience, I guess, teach you that you still use now today as an assistant coach, now that's watching film and helping strategize how to beat the opponents out there?
Well, really, it all works hand in hand. Even Coach Tyler, he does a really good job with it now. But it started with when Coach Kyle was here. He just made it so that you got time. You're gonna help somebody out. You're gonna fill in where you're needed at. There's no rules. It's if you're done doing your laundry for the day and the coach need help clipping clips up, you're going to do that. So therefore, I've been very fortunate to have my hands on so many different things since day one. And 10 years of doing anything, you become fairly good at it. And so that's just, I give the credit to just the college of just putting me in a position at such an early age and allowing me to grow within the program to get to where I am today.
What are we looking at now? We're 2 games in to the season, but what are your thoughts about this team, this roster, preseason and into the first 2 games, and now you'll have your 3rd game here tonight. So, what are your thoughts, early season and preseason, about this roster?
My thoughts, I'm very impressed with the guys, just who they are on the court and outside the court. They are really, really good kids. They have really good personalities, and on top of all that, they're really, really good basketball players. They come in, they want to get work done, they're willing, they want to get better, they want to learn, they want to get more information, so that just makes the process so much easier.
What would you say is the biggest strength for this team here this year?
Our ability to guard the ball is going to be special. We are very long, we're very lengthy, we got tough guys, and can't wait for everyone to see our ability to guard the ball this year.
And then you guys went 1-1 over the weekend. Just what were your thoughts? I've talked with Coach Tyler about what happened there, and obviously, some things went your way, some things didn't. But what were your thoughts from your view on the bench about what happened over the weekend at Three Rivers?
It was a very physical game. I will put it that way. We have some really young kids on our team who we have tried to verbally stress how physical this game is and how fast this game is. And it wasn't until Saturday night when their eyes were really opened up to how physical it gets out there. So believe it or not, I think we needed that. Now they're going to understand that they got to hit those weights so much harder. They got to come out there locked in so much more mentally if you want to get a win. So I'm not looking bad on it. I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise, honestly, because it's going to make our guys want to work that much harder here on out.
Thanks a lot, Coach, and best of luck here tonight.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Fall into savings at Chris Offenberg, Buick GMC, and Carbondale. Right now, the Buick Encore is only $23,995. The Buick Envista is a super low $199 a month. And the truck, the GMC Sierra, is priced at a super low $33,990. So come fall into savings and shop everything automotive at Chris Offenberg, Buick GMC, and Carbondale.
Advantage Offenberg.
We want
basketball. Hope you enjoyed our halftime interview with Marcus Walker, the John A. Logan men's basketball assistant. Men's basketball playing Motlow State tonight after the Lady Vols wrap up their game against Brescia University here today, their developmental team. Lady Vols led by Kiara Whitaker, the freshman guard out of Bardwell, Kentucky, here in the first half. 7 points for her on the season. This is game number 3 on the season, so the first 2 games of the season, Whitaker averaged 7 points, so she's right on line for that. Might even break that average and increase it a little bit here. 27-25, the lead for the Lady Vols. And, I mean, the one thing about this team here, Tim, is that I'm very impressed with the fact that, you know, you can keep them fresh. They're all, it's not just, you know, a ragtag bench. Like, you can kind of switch it out how you want to go, and you're not going to have much of a drop in production in terms of what you're getting out there. Now, some of them are freshmen and still getting used to this out there, but overall, you're not losing much by swapping somebody from the bench out there.
No, Charlie Jones, too, knows you have to have depth. You only have 5 players and you wear down.
Right.
You can run people in and out, and the freshmen hopefully have a good season this season. They'll come back next year. Not that's important, too. I know NCAA got all these transfers. I just don't like it. I wish they had to wait, you know, a game or 2 anyway, not to, you know, play if you transfer.
Yeah, absolutely.
The junior college, same way. They can just transfer at will.
Absolutely. Well, Taylor Horton, the lead scorer for Logan here early on in the season. She was the star last year, without a doubt. Coach Jones told me before the season started she's already getting offers from, you know, colleges that kind of suit her level and whatnot. Not Power 5s by any means. Not to say that she couldn't compete there, but she's getting, I can't remember the names of the ones that she's getting from, but she's getting looks from Division I schools, and I think he said that SEMO might be looking at her. I want to say.
How many points she have today?
So far she has got 5.
5 points.
But
she had many.
I want to say SEMO, Bradley potentially giving her a look as well. So not anything to sneeze at by any means. And then talking about former Lady Vols, Cheyenne Trotter, who was one of the stars last year for Logan, she went to Trevecca Nazarene University and doing a pretty good job right now for the Lady Vols. Or excuse me, for the Lady Trojans up there. Don't have stats on her right now, but I know she's doing a good job over at Trevecca. So good on her. We'll try to stay up to date on what she's doing at the next level and helping represent the Lady Vols in Division I ball. So 27-25 the lead for Logan here as we near the start of the second half, hoping for a slightly better second half and maybe a little bit more distance between Logan and Brescia. We'll step away for 30 seconds and be back with the start of the second half right here on 1035ESPN.com.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Ball in a safe.
Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here on 1035ESPN.com, the 1035ESPN app, and on Facebook Live for John A. Logan Women's Basketball's Facebook page. 27-25 the lead for the Lady Vols as we're just about to start the second half here at Donver Gymnasium, the home opener for the Lady Vols. Looking off to the side, we've got a pretty good crowd here today, and I also spot a former Lady Vol. We were just talking about Cheyenne Trotter, a former Lady Vol. Former player for this team as well, for this program, Madison Calvin. She's stuck around the area.
She stays here at Don A, doesn't she?
She does.
Calvin, I've seen her a few times.
Yeah, she's been helping as a lifeguard, I know, at the pool a little bit. I see her over there though, watching the team play. So she's remained a staunch
she's a
supporter.
Lifeguard. That's impressive.
Yeah,
I had one of my daughters was a lifeguard.
Yeah, but she remains a staunch supporter of the Lady Vols. A remnant from the Amanda Shelby era, but nonetheless, she still loves this program and comes around, checks things out, and loves the college as well. Second half begins. Tia McGee gets it on into Elise Williams. Logan is on defense to start the second half. They lead 27-25 here at Donver Gymnasium in their home opener. Logan is 1-1 on the season, whereas Brescia starting their season here tonight 0-0. Patricia Tomaszewskis picks up a foul here on a reach. Just 11 seconds into the second half. 20 on the shot clock. It will be Brescia inbounding. It is Elise Williams inbounding on the baseline, looking around, lobs on into Jaylee Covington at the top of the key, flip on over to Reagan Lawson, back on over to McGee, down low on the baseline, bounce down low to Covington at the elbow, and now turning around, sends it up. That one bounces off, no good. Tedeschi gets the rebound. Here comes Tomaszewskis on the far end across the timeline, swings on over to Whitaker, top of the key, flips on over to Horton, weaving around, backs up to the top of the key, 19 on the shot clock, flips on over to Whitaker, she'll bring it on over top of the key now, flips on over to Tomaszewskis on the far end, gets a pick from Tedeschi, she'll go with it, right-hand dribble, steps on in, backs on up, back on over to Tedeschi, right-hand dribble into the paint, floats it on up, that one off the back iron, no good, rebounded by Covington, on out to Williams now. Williams across the timeline, right wing, and back it on up. Bounce on into Covington, ball is loose, and Horton takes it away. On over to Janiyah Harrison, the Heron native, up, and good, and she got fouled. Oh, they call travel on her. And she says, where's the foul? What are you talking about? Charlie Jones also going to bat for his player, saying she planted her feet and then went up for the shot. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, that was a weak call.
Well, McGee gets it on in to Malia Partinger, and she'll bring it on up with Harrison defending. 8:49 to go in the third. Nobody scored in the second half yet. It's 27-25. Here is McGee. McGee looks around, jab step, gets it on over to Partinger at the volleyball line. Right-hand dribble now against Harrison. Top of the key, left-hand dribble trying to get inside, up, and no good. Tedeschi got it, but lost control, and Williams has it now, up and good. There's the first bucket. Williams with her.
Nice shot by Williams, and then little finger roll.
Tie game, 27-27 here at Donver Gymnasium. Tomaszewskis gets it on over to Horton. Left-hand dribble, trying to curl in. Back on out to Whitaker. Left wing is where she sets up. Brings it around top of the key. 8:09 to go in the third quarter. Gets a pick from Tedeschi, trying to get it on in. Tomaszewskis in the corner for a three. At air balls, and McGee gets the board. Here is Williams now bringing it on up. Across the timeline she goes. Top of the key goes, blows past Harrison, up, and good.
You got to have some help defense on that. You can't let somebody drive all the way to the hole.
29-27 lead for Brescia. Here is Horton. Gets on over to Tomaszewskis, back on over to Horton, to the corner she goes. Gets it on over to Tomaszewskis, top of the key, jab stepping around now and sets up for play number 5, 7:35 to go. Right-hand dribble, goes with a pick on over to the left. And now swings on over to Horton on the right wing, sends up the 3, that one's offline and rebounded by McGee. Here comes the Lady Bearcats, McGee on the fast break, down low against Tomaszewskis, up and in. 7 points for Team McGee and a timeout called by Charlie Jones. 7:17 to go in the third quarter.
He's
Logan
not too happy, is he, Charlie Jones?
Not at all. Logan trailing 31-27, yet to score in this quarter. We are back in 30 seconds.
Savings at Chris Offenberg, GMC, and Carbondale. Right now, the Buick Encore is only $23,995. The Buick Envista is a super low $199 a month. And the truck, the GMC Sierra, is priced at a super low $33,990. So come fall on the savings and shop everything automotive at Chris Offenberg, Buick GMC, and Carbondale.
Advantage Offenberg.
We are back here at Don Brewer Gymnasium. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call. It is 31-27. The Lady Bearcats of Brescia on actually extending back to the last half, Tim, an 8-0 run right now. 31-27.
Yeah, they're going to have, they got to give up, Logan gave up a couple easy layups.
Yep. Logan yet to score in this half. It is 7:17 to go in the third quarter. Here comes Patricia Tomaszewskis across the timeline, setting up at the volleyball line. Jab step, bounce on over to Horton. Gets on back on over to Tomaszewskis on the right wing. Left-hand dribble into the paint. Got a nice look here. Oh, bounces off, no good, and Covington gets the rebound.
There's where you need to use the board, too. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. Here is Lawler in. Ball is loose. Harrison gets it, and Horton bringing it on down. Got 2 to beat. Down low and poked loose, and Partinger and Horton tied up. Partinger takes it. Here's a jump ball now as Tedeschi gets in, and Horton's still slow to get on up.
Yeah, she's kicking her foot up.
Yeah. It will be, she's now able to get up. It will stay with Logan after the jump ball. And Horton's still slow to get on up. Finally on up. And, I mean, she fell on her face. So it was a bit of a struggle right there. 6:47 to go in the third quarter. Logan and, yeah, Horton's going to go ahead and take herself out of the game for the time being, get checked out by the trainer as Zaria James comes on in. Tomaszewskis will inbound in front of her own bench. 21 on the shot clock. Gets into Tedeschi, back on over to Patricia, top of the key. Flip on over to Whitaker, top of the key, bringing it around. Flip on over to Zaria James. Nice pick, driving on in, on out to Tomaszewskis. Fakes it, driving on in now, and now she's going to get it on over to James in the corner. Driving baseline, double team, and passes on out to Tomaszewskis. 5 on the shot clock, she's got to go, top of the key. Driving on in, and back out to Tedeschi, and she's not getting it up. Nope. Shot clock violation for the second time tonight for the Lady Vols. 31-27 is the lead.
See that very often.
Couldn't get anything going there. It will be McGee inbounding on the baseline. Gets it on in. And McGee flips on over to Williams. Williams will bring it on up across the timeline. 6:15 to go in the third. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here tonight. Eric joins back in the River Radio studios. Here is now Williams, top of the key. Lobs down to Covington into the paint. Back on out to McGee. Driving baseline now. Sends up a shot. That one no good. They're waving it on off. Foul on the floor. And Patricia Tomaszewskis gets hit with another foul.
Well, Tedeschi, but apparently not.
Second team foul for Logan here in the third. 6:04 to go in the third. Logan is trailing 31-27. Yet to score any points here in the third quarter. Williams on the baseline looking around. Lobs on into Covington at the top of the key. 6 minutes to go here in the third. Here's Williams on the left wing now. Right-hand dribble, double team. Tedeschi has it, poked it loose. It's on the floor. Tedeschi steals it away. Here is Williams now bringing it on, or James rather, bringing it on up. Top of the key, gets on over to Tomaszewskis on the right wing. Driving on the baseline, pulls up on the jumper. That one rattles around and goes down for Patricia. 31-29 lead for Logan. 5:39 to go, or excuse me, for Brescia. 5:35 to go in the third.
I just think Patricia needs to pick it up. She got a bucket there.
Williams on over to the left wing inside. Ball is stolen away again. Here comes Whitaker now across the timeline. The freshman brings it on up and lets things settle. On over to Tomaszewski's free throw line jumper for her. Bounces off the back iron, no good. Harrison gets the offensive board though, up, no good, but she got fouled and will go to the stripe.
The Heron Tiger native.
Foul goes on Tia McGee, her third of the game. It's the first of the quarter for the Lady Bearcats. Marta Fernandez and Jayla Reed come on in. Tia McGee going to take a seat and missed the other one that took a seat for the Lady Bearcats. Janiyah Harrison going to the stripe to shoot 2. She's 2 for 2 at the stripe so far today. All her points came there. Morgan Alexander into the game for the Lady Vols as well. First one up and in for Harrison.
Little string music.
1 point game now, 31-30. Logan looking for the tie here with the second shot from Harrison.
I like Logan's defense, so that's keep them in ball game. Score some
Absolutely,
points.
they're playing the way Charlie Jones wants them to. Second one goes up and rattles down. Harrison 4 for 4 at the stripe today. It's a tie game, 31-31. Timeout called by the Lady Bearcats. Tie game, 5:14 to go in the third. We are back in a minute on 103.5 ESPN.com.
John A. is the only auto collision program in Southern Illinois. There's nobody else that offers it. We draw students from all over because there's just nobody else that offers the programs. The student-teacher relationship is one of the most important parts of this job.
You can't really go wrong here. Anything you want to learn, you can learn it here.
Whenever I started the program, I didn't feel too 110% about it. Like I wasn't sure how I was going to do, but that's what makes me confident. It's the teacher and the students that I'm surrounded by.
Hi guys, TJ Cowan from Cold Blooded. Coming to you, wanted to introduce the Cold Blooded Single Barrel Smokehouse. Here at Johnny Logan College, you guys are used to our coffee. Now come check out our food. Not your average college, not your average food.
1:31, the tie game here at Don Brewer Gymnasium. 5:14 to go in the third quarter. Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie on the call here.
Got some famous people sitting behind us, too.
Absolutely, yeah. They asked us not to say their names, though.
Okay, we can't say it.
We promised we wouldn't expose just
they might see them on Facebook.
They might, yeah. Who knows? Logan trots out for this lineup. Taylor Horton back into the game. Ensley Tedeschi, Dazaria James, Morgan Alexander, and Janiyah Harrison out there currently for the Lady Vols. Tie game, 31-31, 5:14 to go in the third. Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie on the call. Eric Joins back in the River Radio studios, and John LeBlanc on all the fantastic video work here today. Here is now Marta Fernandez with it. Gets it on over to Elise Williams. Bounce down low, and now it's Jayla Reed with it. Up and rattles down. Reed with her first bucket of the points. 5 minutes to go, and the Bearcats get the lead back 33-31. James with it now. Left-hand dribble, top of the key, driving on in, and brings it back on out after meeting some defense. Top of the key, right-hand dribble into the paint. Floater up and good for Dazaria James. She came into the game with 13-point average. She's got 4 today. 4:35 to go.
Might pick it up here.
Might, yeah. Here's Fernandez. Ball is loose. Picked it back on up behind her, though. And she's on the floor now. And Janiyah Harrison steals it away, pokes it on out, and Horton has it. Here comes Taylor. Swing on over to Alexander. Corner three. She's money from there, but it goes off the back iron and rebounded by Fernandez. Ball is loose once again. Fernandez picks it on up again. Picked up the dribble, and they call it travel. That is
twice.
Yes, sir. 4:13 to go. Logan tied up 33-33 here. And it's Logan ball now. Gordon will inbound on the baseline. Tedeschi takes a seat. Mariah Macklin, the Brighton, Tennessee native, coming on into this game. Even more fans starting to trickle on into this game. And a media timeout called.
Thought we just had a media timeout.
No, we had a timeout from Brescia.
You don't call them, Mike Murphy told me that, you don't call them TV timeouts.
Yeah, that's
media
true.
timeout.
Because we didn't ask for it. We could keep on going. It's the TV timeouts for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, so timeout called. We'll step away for 30 seconds. Be back on 103.5 ESPN.com. back to John A. Logan women's basketball. Logan tied up with Brescia Developmental 33-33 with 4:13 to go in the third quarter. Taking a look at what's going on in the District 24. Wabash Valley and Swick are 2-0 on the season. Lincoln Trail's 2-1. Logan's 1-1, looking to be 2-1 after tonight. Shawnee's starting their season tonight. Rend Lake's 0-2. Alney is 0-2, and so is Vincennes, who's under new management. Ingrida Hartsfield, the right-hand woman of the legendary Harry Meeks, is the interim coach. Vincennes starting their official search for a new head coach in 2025.
Who's the coach there now?
Ingrida Hartsfield. She is the interim coach. She might be the head coach, but they're giving her kind of a tryout here. And
so he retired?
He retired, yeah. Harry Meeks, 750 career wins.
Didn't know that.
Here's Desaria James for Logan now on the far end. Right-hand dribble, left-hand dribble, stepping in, back on out to Harrison. On over to Horton on the right wing. Left-hand dribble, or right-hand dribble, excuse me. 15 on the shot clock, 4 on the game clock. Stepping on in is Horton into the paint, and ball is loose, taken away by Yates. Nevaeh Yates going down, on over to Fernandez, and it's a travel call on Fernandez.
He shuffled.
Yes, she did. 3:48 to go. Morgan Alexander will inbound from Graves County, Kentucky. Desaria James will bring it across the timeline now. She was at Rend Lake 2 years ago. Lobs into Mariah Macklin, poked on out. Staying with Logan, it was a risky pass that almost got stolen away. Ended up in the hands of Macklin and then got poked out, and it stays with Logan with 21
James,
shot clock.
From Mount Vernon, too.
Yes.
Plus Rend Lake.
Yes.
Rend Lake's district. Mount Vernon's in Rend Lake district.
Horton lobs into Macklin, gets it on over to Harrison on the far end. Gets on over to Horton, driving in on the right-hand dribble now, and back on over to Macklin at the free throw line. Sends up the shot. That one no good off the backboard and rebounded. And now Reed's chasing after it with Horton right behind her. Up and good on the fast break. Reed with 4 points tonight is 35-33. Logan trailing against Brescia Developmental. 3:15 to go in the third. Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here on 103.5 ESPN.
They're getting excited this other team.
Corner three, swishes on in for Taylor Horton. Logan takes the lead 36-35, her second three of the game. Last season, in the past 20 years, it was the best three-point shooting season by an individual for Taylor Horton. 50% from beyond the three-point line for Taylor Horton last year. Elise Williams sends up a three. That one's no good, and it's going to be rebounded by Janiyah Harrison. Here comes Horton now across the timeline.
That's impressive.
Yes, sir, it was.
They shoot over 50% from three-point line.
Desaria James with it on the near side. 2:35 to go in the third. Stepping into the paint, spin move. Picked up her dribble, sends up a shot. That one's no good, but she got fouled and will go to the stripe. 36-35 lead for Logan. Desaria James can make it a bigger lead. Foul is on Nevaeh Yates, her third. That's the second team foul for the Lady Bearcats. Desaria James yet to go to the stripe here today. Here comes the first one. Bounces off, no good. She's got 4 points on the day. Tia McGee and Abby Walker checking in for the Lady Bearcats. Second one up for James. Good. Knocks it down. 5 points for her today. Walker and McGee come in for Reed and Yates.
Reed had 2 big buckets there.
Yes, she did. One of them on, I think both of them on fast breaks today. 2:30 to go in the third. Logan leads it 37-35. They gave the point that James made to the Bearcats.
Thought so.
Williams top of the key, and it is down low. No good, got fouled. I think James is picking up the foul here, and it's going to send, yeah, it will be James, her fourth. It'll send Covington to the line.
We still have 36 apiece on the board.
Yeah. Should be 37-35 in favor of Logan. 2:18 to go.
Try to get that straight.
Yeah, Covington at the stripe. James picks up her fourth. It's the third team foul for Logan. Covington up and good. She's got 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 made at the free throw line. It's 37-36 now.
Better get this straight.
Yeah, well, it's game one for them as well. We got to be a little patient with them. Second one up and good for Covington.
Hey, she's doing that scoreboard.
Yeah.
Start watching the game and
Covington has been money at the stripe here today.
Done it very, very seldom.
Here is Horton now. Flip on over to Alexander, top of the key. Gets on over to the left side. James trying to step in. Back out to Alexander on the left wing. Swings on over to Horton, top of the key. Down low to Tedeschi. Working against McGee. Up and good for Tedeschi. Her first points of the game. 39-37. Logan leads with 1:50 to go in their home opener in the third quarter. McGee picked up her dribble, and she's bouncing on over to Williams now. Back over to McGee. Free throw line. Sends it up against Macklin. Up, no good. And a whistle.
Late call there.
Very late, yes. McGee picks up her third foul. Fourth team foul for Logan. 1:44 to go. In fact, that'll be... yeah, that's fourth team foul. Bardinger coming on in for the Lady Bearcats. McGee sends it on up. That one rattles around, goes down. She is 2 for 3 at the stripe today. 39-38 lead for Logan here against Brescia Developmental. Second one for McGee up and good. 75% of the stripe today. Bardinger comes on in for Fernandez. Tie game 39-39. Logan is tied up here in their home opener. 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Horton across timeline now. Flips on over to James. James top of the key. Swings down low for Horton, I believe, out there. Over to Tedeschi, left wing three. Open, and it is short. Horton gets the rebound up, and no good, but she got fouled and will go to the stripe. Foul is going to be on Bardinger, her first. Third team foul for the Lady Bearcats.
I can't see in the corner. I forget I can look at the monitor here.
Yeah. Horton going to the stripe on the season. She's a 75% shooter at the stripe. Horton has 8 points so far today. First one up, good. 40-39 the lead for the Lady Vols currently.
I think Charlie Jones has got a tie I got at home.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's my tie.
Maybe.
Looks like it.
Here comes the second one for Horton. Up and a little too strong. Rebounded by Covington. 1 for 2 trip for the Lady Vols' leading scorer, Taylor Horton. Ball almost stolen away by Bardinger. Bardinger now down low, dealing with double team of James and Alexander.
Boy, he had her in the, that's what I was wondering about. He had her in trap, so you don't want to, to reach in. I mean, everybody does, isn't it?
Yeah, Alexander was trying to trigger the jump ball, instead reaches in. She picks up her third. That's the 5th team foul. Macklin takes a seat as Janiah Harrison comes back in. And referees are a little confused, and now it is going to be Bardinger going to the stripe.
Aaliyah Bardinger, the line shooting 2.
Bardinger at the stripe. So far today, 1 for 4. First one up is good. Knocks it down. 6 points for her today. Ties it up 40-40. Here comes the second one for Malia Bardinger. Up and good. Retakes the lead. 7 points for her. 41-40 lead for the Lady Bearcats. 1:15 to go in the third. Taylor Horton flips on over to Morgan Alexander on the far side, looking to pass. Gets it on over to Harrison in the corner. Down low to Tedeschi. And bounce back on out to Alexander. Looking around. Right-hand dribble. Brings it around. Trying to get it down in. Swings on over to Harrison on the left wing. Left-hand dribble. Down on the baseline now. Back on out to Tedeschi. Stepping on in. Down to the shot clock. Right-hand hook. That one's good. 4 points for Tedeschi.
Nice shot.
42-41 lead for Logan with 45 seconds to go in the third. Here is Bardinger on the near side. And left-hand dribble going to try to split through into the corner. Corner three. That one goes down for Abby Walker. 44-42 lead for the Lady Bearcats. Here is Horton now at the volleyball line. 30 seconds on the game clock. 22 on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper from her inside. That one no good. And she gets her own rebound. Out to Alexander on the left wing. Over to Horton. Top of the key now. Into Ensley Tedeschi. 2 seconds separate game and shot clock. Pull-up jumper no good for Tedeschi. Harrison gets the offensive board. That one's up and in. Meanwhile, 2 off-ball players are getting tangled up. Here they come. 3 seconds to go. On over to Bardinger. Pull-up three. That one no good.
Blocked by Tedeschi.
Yeah, blocked by Tedeschi. And then Covington tried to save it. but ran out of time. 44-44, tie game as we enter the fourth quarter. We're back in a minute right here on 1035ESPN.com.
Welcome to Mackey's. How can I help you?
Hey, welcome to Mackey's Pizza. Every Monday night we have half-price cheese breadsticks. Monday through Friday we have a great lunch special. We can get 8-inch pizza, a small salad, and a drink for $7.49. So come out and see us and enjoy everything at Mackey's.
Fall into savings at Chris Offenberg Buick GMC in Carbondale. Right now, the Buick Encore is only $23,995. The Buick Envista is a super low $199 a month. And the truck, the GMC Sierra, is priced at a super low $33,990. So come fall into savings and shop everything automotive at Chris Offenberg Buick GMC in Carbondale.
Advantage Offenberg.
Matt Varney and Tim Ritchie back here at Don Brewer Gymnasium in Carterville. John A. Logan women's basketball in their home opener tied up as we enter the final frame, 44-44 against Brescia Developmental here. Bearcats have been they just will not go away, Tim. Every time Logan gets a lead, the Bearcats are right there.
In the back, they're fighting. Give them credit.
Without a doubt. Tia McGee going to get it on into Elise Williams in the backcourt as we start play here in the fourth quarter.
Have to keep that defense up, Logan does.
Absolutely. Here is Williams, sends up a shot. That one rolls off, no good, but she's going to go to the stripe as Patricia Tomaszewskis had a little bit too much contact there. That is her fourth.
Who did that?
Tomaszewskis picks up foul number 4 on the game. 9 seconds into the fourth, and that is a team foul on the Lady Vols. Williams with 4 points. First one up, no good. She is 0 for 3 at the stripe here, trying to change that fortune here with the second shot in a moment. Next for the Lady Vols, they go to Three Rivers for the weekend. They'll see Three Rivers on Saturday, Moberly area on Friday. Second one is good for Elise Williams, makes it 5 points on the day for her. Lady Vols see Moberly area, 4 p.m. tip-off right here on 1035ESPN.com on Friday. Here is Horton, double screen, bringing it around on the right wing, pulls up, 15 feet, good. 11 points for Horton. Logan leads 46-45. 9.5 to go in the game. Here is McGee on the right wing, looking around. Looking to swing it, gets it over to Walker, top of the key. Walker right-hand dribble, gets it on over to Fardinger, top of the key now. Right-hand dribble on into the paint, sends up the shot. That one's no good, and Tedeschi's got the rebound. Tedeschi bringing it on up across the timeline. Left-hand dribble on over to Tomaszewskis at the volleyball line.
The volleyball line messes you up. Sometimes you think it's half court.
Alexander on over to Horton, weaving around into the paint, flips it on up. It's good, and she'll go to the strike. Oh, are they going to charge? They are. That was going to be a made shot for Horton, but instead they wave it off. And that could have been huge. Logan could have gotten a 4-point lead.
Yeah. Used to be that you determine if you let the ball loose, the basket would be good, but here it's not good.
That's going to be the first foul of the game for Horton. Second team foul here for Logan. Just 59 seconds into the fourth quarter. Logan leads it 48-45. So then they did give the 2 to Horton.
They did.
Logan almost stole it away. McGee gets it across half court, though, driving into the paint, down low, up, and no good. Rebounded by Covington. Oh, Ensley Tedeschi got it, and they say that it was a foul as well on Covington, who's down on the floor.
He's got 7 rebounds now, Tedeschi. Their family's sitting behind us.
Yes, sir. Covington picks up her second foul. First foul, team foul rather, for the Lady Bearcats. And Covington is holding her head from the looks of it. And maybe her back, actually. And she fell hard on the floor.
Well, it does hurt.
And the Logan trainer coming on over to check him out.
Yeah. We got the Tedeschi fan behind us, and
yes,
her brother.
Doctor, yeah.
Doctor, he got second state, or he didn't. Benton got second state last year, and he'll go to a big school.
He helped lead him to second in state in high school. Yeah, he's going to Colorado State.
Oh, that's right, he is, yeah.
8:45 to go. Taylor Horton brings it up across the timeline to the right wing. Trying to get it to Alexander. Flips on over to Alexander. Into the paint. Gives on over to James. Gets a pick from Tedeschi. Driving on in. Sends it on up. That one is good off the glass.
The European step, Euro.
7 points for Desaria James. Inbound, and Logan's trying to press. Here comes Partinger. Horton defending. Across the timeline they go. 8:20 to go in the game. Logan leads at 50-45. And now here is Walker at the volleyball line. Flips on over to Williams. James almost stole it away. Here is Williams, the right wing, trying to step in against Alexander. And it's stolen away by Harrison in the air. Harrison down the stretch now. Driving in, sends it up. Oh, she couldn't find the rim, though. She got a little bit too far behind it. Couldn't time it up. And now Alexander steals it out of the way. Reed was looking for Williams at the other end, and it was just Alexander right there to pick it off.
Harrison now has 5 steals. Pretty impressive.
How about it, yeah. James driving to the right. Right-hand dribble. Found the alleyway up. Oh, just a little short. And they're going to call a whistle here. A blocking foul here. And James is going to go to the stripe to shoot 2 in a moment. Foul's going to be on Tia McGee, her 4th. That'll be the 2nd team foul for the Lady Bearcats as well. 7:39 to go in the game. Reagan Lawson's coming on into the game. 50-45 is the lead for the Lady Vols. Covington just passed behind us here in front of the scorer's table, hoping she is all right, but she is gingerly walking away. She was a new addition to the roster just today. James at the stripe, first one up, rattles down.
Here's where Logan needs to expand the lead.
Yes, sir. James is 2 for 3 at the stripe, trying to make it 3 for 4 here with the next shot. She has got 8 points today. Came into today averaging 13 points for the Lady Vols. 51-45 the lead. Here comes the second one. That one rattles around, no good. Harrison had it, and it goes out of bounds. Staying with Logan because Reed touched it last.
Yeah, good job by Harrison. Logan gets the ball out of bounds.
7:37 to go. Logan leads at 51-45.
7:37, that's a flight, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Inbound to Tedeschi, over to Harrison on the right wing, looking around. Left-hand dribble against Reed, sending it up. That one's no good, but she got fouled and will go to the stripe. Foul is on Jayla Reed, her third team foul for the Lady Bearcats.
Taken out of bounds, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't a shooting foul, yeah. Blocking
the
foul.
New quarter. Yeah, you're used to the half like the men play.
Blocking foul, but wasn't a shooting foul. Lob on into Tedeschi. It's up, and she gets it. Right-hand hook, no good. And it is now being fought for. Jump ball called. It's going to stay with Logan. Yates had it, but 3 Lady Vols were there to put their hands in it as well.
Good hustle without fouling.
Triggered the jump ball. 7:26 to go. Horton looking around, trying to find a way to get it out to Tedeschi. She finds it at the volleyball line. Back on over to Horton at the top of the key now. Horton, right-hand dribble, letting the offense get set up now. 51-45 the lead for the Lady Vols against Brescia. Right-hand dribble, it is Horton driving in, and a whistle, a travel on Horton. 51-45 the lead for Logan, but it is now Lady Bearcats ball. Nevaeh Yates going to be inbounding. Bounce on into Partinger. Partinger, right-hand dribble, going to break through the press. Horton got her to stop for a moment, and now she's going to find her way across the timeline. Top of the key, gets on over to Yates on the left wing, and switching some defenders here. Yates finds herself open, but picked up her dribble. Now she's got to pass it off. On over to Lawson. Right-hand dribble on the far side now, and a timeout called by the Lady Bearcats. 6:54 to go in the game. Logan leading at 51-45. We will be back in 30 seconds.
Our students are employed immediately. Sometimes they are employed before they get their associate's degree.
I have a position working in early childhood. Dr. Marilyn Tolliver, my professor, was able to really prepare me to be able to teach in a classroom as a lead teacher.
To see them interact and engage in what I'm teaching them is life-changing.
(51-45) the lead for the Lady Vols. 6:54 to go in the game. Logan's starting to get some distance finally against the Lady Bearcats at Brescia Developmental.
It was 44-44 in the third quarter.
Yes, it was. Reagan Lawson will inbound in front of the fans on the far sideline.
Yeah, fans are still coming in. Plenty of room. Come on down.
For the men's game, they are getting ready. Elise Williams with it. Gets a pick from Reed. Driving in. Sends it up. That one no good, but they're going to call a foul here. It will be on Morgan Alexander, her fourth. And third team foul for the Lady Vols here in the fourth. Elise Williams at the stripe. She is 1 for 4. First one up. Bounces off, no good. She's the only one with points for the Lady Bearcats here in the fourth quarter.
With 1 point, huh?
In this quarter, yeah. She's got 5 on the day. Second one up. That one rattles down. 51-46 the lead for Logan. 6:45 to go in the game.
Logan needs to move the ball. They don't have to wait the last second to shoot every time.
Desaria James, top of the key, gets a pick to choose from. On over to Jana Harrison, and now it's on over to Alexander. Back on over to James on the right wing. Left-hand dribble. Back out to Alexander on the left wing. Head fake, and now she's bringing it back around. Left-hand dribble once again, trying to get to Horton into the corner. Pull-up jumper from about 15 feet. Good. 6 points for Horton in this quarter alone. She has got 15. Here comes Yates across the timeline. 6:10 to go. Setting up at the volleyball line. Bounce on over to Williams. And gets a pick from Reed. And Tedeschi was able to, good defense. And Alexander steals it away on the pass. Here she comes at the free throw line. Bounce on over. She was looking for Tedeschi, but overshot her. Stolen away by Lawson. Here now comes Yates. She's got Reed to come with, but she's going to take it herself. Yates has got her first bucket of the game. 53-48 the lead for Logan. 5:40 to go in the game. It's the home opener for the Lady Vols. Coming up after the Lady Vols, it's the home opener for the men against Montlow State. Hensley Tedeschi gives on over to Desaria James. Swings it on over to the right wing for Morgan Alexander. Left-hand dribble into the paint, and they're going to call a reach here on Lawson, her first, and that's the fourth team foul.
Called turnover.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought they might get a carry on her.
Yeah, carry, yeah. She did have the carry.
Alexander comes off, Kiara Whitaker comes on in, and Coach Charlie Jones giving some good coaching to Alexander here as she comes on off. Logan leads by 5, 53-48. Inbound to Tedeschi. Right-hand dribble now in from the top of the key, and a nice right-hand.
Nice shot. Could have been a three-point play. Got fouled, too.
That was one of those hook shots you like to see. It was a little risky coming from the side instead of right in front of the bucket, but you'll take it. 5:10 to go. Logan leads at 55-48. Here comes Williams driving into the paint. Floats it on up. That one goes down.
They're not going to go away, this ball, this Bear Cup Cat ball team.
Nope, they're going to stick around the whole time. Here is Whitaker, top of the key. Right-hand dribble. And flips on over to Horton. Right wing three. That one swishes on in. They're going to call it a 2, though. Her foot was over the line. She's got 8 in this quarter alone, nearly doubling her total. And now Charlie Jones is losing and says, that was a 3. Here is Partinger down low, up and in.
Have a video replay, about 3 or 2.
Yeah, I think her foot was over the line, though. Partinger up to 9 points here. 57-52 the lead for Logan. 4.5 to go in the game. Horton.
Fans still piling in.
Here is James on over to Whitaker, top of the key, driving on in. Down low to Tedeschi. Sends it up. That one off the back iron, no good. Grabs her own rebound, though. Over to Harrison, up and in. Selfless move there for Tedeschi to say, I'm going to pass up this shot. I'm going to give it to Harrison, who had a slightly better look. Williams down low, up and in on the fast break. And she'll go to the stripe as well for the and one. Harrison picks up the foul, her second. That's the fourth team foul for Logan. 4:04 to go. Logan leading 59-54. Depending on how Williams does at the stripe when we come back, it could be a 4-point game. It's a 5-point game currently. We are back in 30 seconds.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Matt Varney, Tim Ritchie on the call here at Don Brewer Gymnasium for 1035ESPN.com. Eric joins back in the River Radio studios, helping to bring you today's game, and John LeBlanc bringing the fantastic video on the John A. Logan Women's Basketball Facebook page as well. Logan leads at 59-54, 4:04 to go in the game. Taylor Horton has come alive here in this fourth quarter. Walked into the quarter with 9 points. She has scored 8 here in the fourth quarter, Tim.
Oh, that's impressive. The cream comes up top.
Yeah, absolutely.
The top, yeah. So.
Absolutely. We're more accustomed to seeing Taylor kind of more consistently score throughout the night and then finish, around 14 to 17 from last year. But you know what? If you get them and you're able to get the wins, I guess that's what matters. But we'd like to not be sweating things out going into the fourth quarter also.
She's been getting good recruiting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And one attempt coming up for Elise Williams of Brescia Developmental. 4:04 to go in the game. 59-54 lead for Logan. Can make it a 4-point game here for the Bearcats if Williams makes this and one. She is 2 for 6 at the stripe so far today. Sends it up. Bounces off the back iron, no good. Poked on out. Logan takes it. And Patricia Tomaszewskis is going to bring it on up. Here is Tomaszewskis, top of the key, right wing now. Flip on over to Horton, weaving around. On over to Whitaker, top of the key, driving on in. And she's going to back on out to Tomaszewskis on the near side. 3:45 to go in the game. 15 on the shot clock. Pick from Harrison. Bounds him clear path into the paint. Turns around, picks up her dribble. Tedeschi, left wing three, and it's short. And picked up by Williams. Here comes Yates now driving into the paint. Up and blocked by Tedeschi. Reed and Tedeschi fight for it. Jump ball. It's going to stay with Brescia. 3:31 to go in the game. Logan leads at 59-54. And it will be Williams inbounding on the baseline. 3:31 to go. Logan leads it by 5, 59-54. Lob on into Reed, but Tedeschi's going to be the one that gets it, and she's going to have an easy fast break look right here, making it a 7-point lead here. Tedeschi up to 8 on the day.
4 steals for her, and 7 rebounds.
3:15 to go. Down low, Tia McGee on the reverse, up and in. She's got 11 on the day.
That's a tough shot, but still got to play better defense on it.
3:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Logan leads at 61-56 against Brescia Developmental. Here is Horton now, gets a pick from Harrison, driving in, back on out to the right wing now. Didn't like what she saw. A pick from Tedeschi now, pulls up from the free throw line, swishes in. 10 points in the quarter alone. Taylor Horton up to 19 on the day. 63-56 lead for Logan. 2:45 to go. Here is Yates across the timeline. Gets it on over to Marta Fernandez. Driving in against Harrison now. Up and no good. Rebounded by the Lady Bearcats. The ball is loose. Logan ball after it was Tia McGee who couldn't corral it on in. 2:36 to go. Logan leads at 63-56. And a timeout called by Coach Charlie Jones after verifying he has 2 timeouts left. 2:34 left on the clock. Logan leads at 63-56. We are back in a minute on 1035ESPN.com.
Hey, welcome to Mackey's Pizza. Every Monday night we have half-price cheese breadsticks. Monday through Friday we have a great lunch special. We can get 8-inch pizza, a small salad, and a drink for $7.49. So come out and see us and enjoy everything at Mackey's.
$63-56 the lead for the Lady Vols. 2:34 to go. Logan going to inbound in front of Brescia Developmental. This is a bench. Kira Whitaker gets it on into Taylor Horton. She crosses midcourt. 2:30 to go in the game. 26 on the shot clock here.
Run some time, clock.
Yeah, absolutely. 7-point game here. Logan leads it. Here is Whitaker. Flip on over to Tomaszewskis. It's the home opener for the Lady Vols. They are starting to wrap it on up. They're trying to pick up win number 2. Here's Tomaszewskis on out to Harrison, and now skips on over to Horton. 7 on the shot clock. Left-hand dribble, and now she's getting double-teamed over to Whitaker. Shoots the shot at the buzzer, in! My goodness! 10 points for Whitaker, and now the ball is stolen by Whitaker on the inbound. A foul called, and she should be going to the stripe here with the Logan Vols in the bonus.
10-point lead. Looking pretty good now.
Yes, sir.
Still ways to go.
Nevaeh Yates picks up her 4th foul, and Logan gets Kiera Whitaker going to the stripe. She is 3 for 3 at the stripe so far today. Here's the first shot. Rattles around, no good for the freshman. First miss of the night at the stripe. And Tia McGee thinking that it's a 1-and-1. No. Bonus means you're getting 2 shots here. 66-56
Yeah, no
lead.
1-and-1 anymore, women.
Yeah. Second one, no good. Tedeschi gets the offensive board, though, up and in. She's got 6 in this quarter, 10 on the game. 1:45 to go. Logan leads at 68-56. Here comes Elise Williams, top of the key. Pulls up as Tomaszewskis kind of laxes a little bit. Ball is loose. Is going to stay with Brescia as Horton dove on the floor for it. Couldn't corral it in, though. Partinger is going to come back on in for Logan, or for rather Brescia. Zaria James comes on in for Patricia Tomaszewskis. Yates sits on the bench for the Lady Bearcats. 1:38 to go in the game. Coming up after this one, Coach Charlie Jones quickly joins us for the coaches show, and then we'll turn it on over to the men's basketball game against Motlow State. Here is Partinger, top of the key, right-hand dribble, steps in, back on out to Fernandez, right wing, and gets a pick into the corner. And ball is loose. Horton has it. Nobody in front of her. She's going to get another basket on the fast break. Up and in it goes. 12 points in this quarter alone for Taylor Horton. 21 on the day. 1:20 to go. Logan leads at 70-56. Here now is McGee at the other end and gets it to Reed. Up, blocked by Tedeschi, and here it comes. 1:10 to go. The Benton native gets it on over to Whitaker. It was loose, almost stolen away, but Whitaker has it now with 1:05 to go. Over to Horton. Can run some clock now. 14-point lead for Logan. 70-56 is the lead. And they're finally feeling a little bit of comfortability here, Tim.
Yeah.
Able to breathe.
Good now.
Right-hand dribble for Horton. Back on over to Tedeschi. Right-hand dribble. Back over to Horton. No look. Sends up the 3. That one bounces around and goes in.
Assist by Tedeschi.
Horton's got 15 alone here in the quarter. Tia McGee on the fast break. Up and in. She's up to 13. But Horton has got 24 on the day. 6 seconds separate game and shot clock. 73-58 the lead for Logan here as they're running clock and just trying to let it all go at this point. Tedeschi at the volleyball line, gives on over to James. Left-hand dribble into the paint, flips it on up, off the glass, it's good. James has 10 on the day. 75-58, 10 seconds to go. Here's Partinger, top of the key. On over to McGee in the corner. Left-hand dribble into the paint. Flips it on up, no good. Rebound, it's on the floor. Horton had it, but they call jump ball. It's Logan ball with 2.7 on the clock. That should do it here, folks. Logan is going to walk away with a 75-58 win on their home opener against Brescia Developmental, and they will improve to 2-1. Got to just inbound. Whitaker will walk it on up. Logan wins 75-58. A big fourth quarter to burst away and improve to 2-1. We're